What's going on, everyone? Thanks for checking out this video. Are you searching for an e-bike to cruise the streets, trails, bike paths, something with some decent power? It's got great range, it's easy to get off and on. Well, hang out for a second because we're about to check out the TrailStep Elite from Fabulous e-bikes. All right, folks, this is the TrailStep Elite from Fabulous e-bikes. And the first thing I'll mention is this comes in various configurations. This one is 26 by 1.9 on the tire. So they're a skinny tire, but you can also get it with a 4-inch wide fat tire. You can also get it with 24 by 3 white wall tires. That one's called the Route 66, and that's like a special edition that they've got on the website now. But you can get different wheel tire packages and even different motor packages on this TrailStep. This is the 750 watt version. You can also get it in a 500 watt version. Comes in different colors. You can get red, white, blue, I think maybe even black and silver. And right now the current price is $19.99 US. All right, now the first thing I want to do is just walk you through the bike front to back and just give you all the specs. So the first thing is tire size 26 by 1.95, so skinny tire. It's a quick release front wheel, and it has Zoom hydraulic disc brakes that are 180 millimeter disc. There's the Zoom on the handles. It's got a front suspension fork, which is a Mozo fork. Big, huge headlight from Star Union. Also has a tail light, a brake light, and turn signals. Turn signals only in the rear. Has an electric horn as well. Up here on the dash is all your buttons to control. Headlight right here, turn signals and horn right there. This one's equipped with a left-hand thumb throttle. Although on the website I saw some of them have twist, so I'm not sure which one is standard, if it's thumb or twist. Most of the Fabulous bikes I've seen have had a right-hand twist throttle, so I was surprised to unbox this and see the left-hand thumb. But I'm sure if you felt strongly one way or the other, you could probably email them and have the bike configured with the appropriate throttle for you. You've got mounting points right here on the front, headset for a basket if you want to add cargo, and you have a Pro Max adjustable handlebar stand, which is pretty cool. You just release this lever and you can tilt these forward or backward to your liking to get that right seating position for you if you want to be more upright or more leaned over. The TrailStep has the LCD 8H display. Let me turn this thing on for you. You can see what it looks like. This is a good display. It's very programmable, very colorful and easy to read. Anytime you see this on a bike, that's a good sign. That's a really great display. I like that one a lot. This bike is an 8-speed. You've got a 52 tooth front chainring in the front, and it's at 1132 on the rear cassette, and it's equipped with the 8-speed trigger shifters, rapid fire trigger shifters. I like those better than the thumb. I think they're easier to use. And dropping down here inside the frame is your battery pack hiding in here. It drops out the front. It is a 48 volt 20 amp hour battery pack. That's a pretty huge battery pack for this relatively lightweight bike. This weighs about 70 pounds on my scale. And the payload capacity, I believe, is 250 pounds. Comes with rack and fenders included. They're both metal. The step-through height to get through here is about 19 inches. The minimum seat height is 34 inches. And it does have a little bit of a suspension seat post in there. If you take that out, put a regular seat post in, you might get it down another inch, inch and a half. This is one of the shorter seat posts I've seen, but it actually works really well. And you've got this DDK seat that's really soft and squishy and spring-loaded. So it is a really comfy ride. I like the seat a lot because it's wide, it's flat, it's very comfy. A lot of times bikes will put a really thin, hard seat on there. I'm not a fan. I'm an old guy. I want a nice plush ride. Now for pedal assist, the TrailStep Elite is equipped with a torque assist sensor, which engages when your foot applies pressure to the pedal. That's what gets your pedal assist to kick in. Instead of a cadence sensor where you're waiting for magnets to cross each other, this is as soon as you apply pressure on the pedal, that engages the system, and then once it's up and running, it delivers you a constant power. So it activates pretty quickly and gives you a nice smooth power delivery. I also did open up this little box right here where the controller hides to find that it has a 20 amp max current on the controller, and that sends the power back to your 750 watt rear hub motor. Of course, it's going to be peaking a little bit higher than that. It's probably 900 watts, maybe a little over that 950 for the peak output on the motor. Now we should talk about riding this TrailStep Elite. What's the ride like? And the first thing I want to start with is just mounting and dismounting the bike, which is really easy because it is a step-through model. So you can step right through the frame and get yourself situated on the bike easily instead of swinging your leg up over the back. And then once you're on the bike, it's got the ability to adjust your ride position because you have this Pro Max adjustable handlebar stem. So it'll allow you to be very upright seating position, which I like to be very upright, or you can have the handlebars lean really far forward and get a more forward riding position. Of course, you can adjust the seat height, and the bike fit me very well at 6 feet tall. I could get myself into a comfortable ride position and did a nice long range test on this and was pretty comfy. I also had my wife try the bike, who is 5'4", and the seat height being 34 inches, that was kind of at the maximum that she can ride. She would prefer it a little bit lower. She wants to have her feet flat on the ground at a stop while she's sitting on the seat. She was able to get on there and take it for a spin around the block. So if you're 5'4", yes, you'll be able to get on this. If you're 5 feet even, it's probably going to feel a little bit tall for you. You might have to remove the suspension seat post to get the seat low enough for you. The display was nice and big and readable. I'll turn that on again for you here so you can see what that looks like. So speed limit really big there, your battery indicator up here, ambient temperature, and then you got your actual power output, shows you the watts and your pedal assist number. Very easy to read, easy to use. There is some programming settings in there. You can set the takeoff speed, the acceleration speed, tone that down, or tone down your pedal assist if you want. So very programmable screen as well. It felt very nimble, very light. With the skinnier tires as opposed to the fat tires, it definitely feels way more nimble on the streets, and it's smoother and quieter. I mean, you pump these tires up to 40 PSI. So it's a firm tire, it's fast rolling, it's smooth, quiet. You go down the greenway in silence, basically. It's a real quiet, smooth ride. I think the skinny tires may also contribute to it feeling just lighter underneath you. It feels more like a bicycle than a lot of the fat tire bikes do. And it is lighter than the fat tires as well. It's only about 70 pounds, and this is a big battery pack in here. If you take that battery pack out, I mean, the battery pack alone weighs 11.5 pounds. So if you remove that, then all of a sudden you've got a bicycle that only weighs, 59 pounds. So it's under 60 pounds, you take the battery out. So it felt smooth and a lot lighter weight than I'm used to. And it was pretty zippy as well. With the 750 watt motor, it had some good zip. I took some clips of it accelerating, so you can see that it's got a pretty good takeoff speed. But probably what I was most impressed with was the range. I did a range test on the bike, and it went pretty far. I took some performance footage of range test and top speed and hill climb and all that, and I think we should take a look at that now. All right, let's test this bike's top speed with throttle only, see how fast it goes. I'm gonna guess 27, 28. So we'll see. I got my GPS running as well, so we can kind of match them up and see. The speedometer looks pretty accurate compared to GPS. Slow down the curve for a sec, and then we got a nice long straight stretch here. All right, 28 on there, 27, 28. So yeah, it's 20, I'm gonna say 27, 28 pretty easily on this bike. No pedaling at all. All right, let's see if we can't do a quick acceleration test here. I'll give you an idea how fast it accelerates. We'll do like a 0 to 20. Throttle only, here we go. 3, 2, 1, go. Decent pickup. 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, right there, pretty quick. All right, so pretty smooth, quiet ride. I mean, the tires are quiet. They're pumped up to like 40 PSI. The tire says 40 to 60, so I put them at 40. So very firm tire. You can really kind of carve with it. It's very nimble. The skinny tires are always way more nimble. They do make this exact frame style, this TrailStep, with a fatter tire too. It's called the Route 66. I just did a video on that one recently. And that's basically this identical frame, but with a 3-inch fat tire on it instead of these. These are like 1.9, I think. And here you can see a regular bike rider cannot make this hill pedaling. So we're gonna do it with electric. All right, I think that young lady is almost to the very top, so we'll get started here in a second. But this is a 10 to 12% grade on this hill, which doesn't sound like much, but when you're pedaling a bike up it, it can be very tiring. If I was gonna try to climb this with no power, I would have to stand up and really pump on the pedals and go up about 2 to 3 miles an hour. I've done it before, actually, for videos. I'm not gonna do it today, it's too hot. So we're gonna do it with electric. Let's get this baby in pedal assist 5, just make sure we got all the power. Most bikes, if they're real fast, they'll do it in like 22 seconds. Slower ones, maybe 25 plus seconds. So let's see what kind of juice it's got. Throttle only, up the hill. Ready, 3, 2, 1, go. I'm actually kind of impressed with the start off the line. That was pretty good. Okay, we're climbing at 11 miles an hour. Gaining a little speed. And then it gets steep right here. A little bit, a couple more degree. You can hear the motor slow. And then I stop the time right here at this path. Stop. There you go. That was a pretty good hill climb. I'm impressed with that. Let's say hi to this young lady as we pass. You gotta get one of these.
All right.
Holy cow. Am I even in 8th gear yet? I think I'm in 8th gear, but 52 tooth and 11 on the back. I mean, 30 mile an hour. Pedal cadence is so comfortable. Wow. All right, we're also gonna do a range test on this TrailStep Elite. I started the day with a full charge and we've gone 13.3 miles so far. And I'm gonna try to kill this battery as fast as I can because I wanna show you the bottom number. What's the minimum amount of mileage you're gonna get out of one charge, right? So we do this throttle only. I'm just gonna punch the throttle, go throttle only. I'll only pedal if there's like a really steep hill or maybe sometimes to get myself going, but mostly throttle only, top speed for as much as I can. We're gonna try to burn through it quickly. And I weigh 180 pounds. That's what this bike is carrying around. It is about 80 degrees outside today. The tire pressures are at 40 PSI. That's what they called for, so that's what we set them at. We'll see how far she goes. We've already lost one battery bar after 13.5 miles, so I'll check back in as we lose more battery, and we're gonna take it until, you know, there's just no more usable power in the bike. I run them down pretty low until, man, there is just absolutely no one on this greenway today. It's like I have it to myself. There's no one here. All right, I turned around a couple miles back to head towards home because I'm down 2 battery bars. I'm at 23 miles. I don't know. I mean, at this pace, it's gonna go 40-ish miles maybe. We'll see, but I didn't want to get stranded too far out. I went way out the greenway, further than I've ever gone. So I figured it was time to turn around, start heading back towards home. I don't want to get stranded, even though this wouldn't be that bad pedaling home. It's, you know, with the thinner, smoother, faster rolling tires, not as heavy weight, it's probably not too bad pedaling it just as a regular bike. But all right, we're about 30 miles into this range test, 30 miles in, and the bike lost a step at about 28 miles. I felt the power kind of go down. Instead of on level ground being able to hit 27, 28, now it's 24, 25 on level ground. And I'm over at hill climb. I'm gonna do the hill climb again. So we know on a full charge, this thing climbed it pretty easily. But when you're down to 45 volts, 1 bar left, you've gone 30 miles on your battery, how does it do on the hill climb? But we're gonna find out. Let's do this throttle only. Okay, little bike, show me what you got here at the end of your battery life. Go. I mean, off to a decent start, okay? First time around, I think it was around 11 miles here, 11 miles an hour, and then it got to like 12. I mean, it's gonna do it. I can feel it's gonna do it. Not as fast as the first time. Now the steep spot right here, you can hear it slow way down. It's digging, but I mean, it's carrying me up and time. So yeah, really loud truck, sorry. But it's still doing it. It's still pulling me up hills after 30 miles of throttle only. This is how I've been riding, just wide open throttle. Up the whole hill, throttle only, no pedaling for me. Okay, our battery bar is completely empty. It says 44 volts. I've gone 36 miles. Here's how much power we got left. Ready? I mean, it still takes right off. It's gonna be one of those bikes that basically has a lot of power and then boom, it'll just cut out on you. So I don't know how much longer it's gonna go, but we gotta be getting towards the end. But it'll still go 24 miles an hour with decent acceleration with 0 battery life showing on the indicator. All right, we finally killed this battery. It's flashing at me now. It got down to 41.8. Once you hit the throttle and it dipped below like 40 on the voltage, it just cut out. So we got nothing in the throttle. Right now it's dead at 38.2 8.3 miles. That's pretty respectable for just all out throttle only. Carried me all over this town. All over this town. I rode 38 miles on this thing with minimal pedaling. That's pretty impressive. That's pretty impressive. If you pedal this bike, it shouldn't be difficult to go 50 plus miles easily. I went almost 40 without much pedaling at all. So great range out of the TrailStep Elite. All right, well, as you can see, pretty good speed out of this bike, 28 miles an hour, giving it class 3 speed. It was pretty lightweight, good ergonomics, decent power and acceleration, good hill climb power, even when the battery was largely depleted, and great range. I mean, almost 40 miles of range out of this, essentially throttle only. I mean, I didn't do much pedaling at all. So if you're gonna actually help the bike and pedal it some, you should be able to crack 50, I would think, without too much of a problem. And that's a pretty darn good range on an e-bike. I don't have very many that can go that far. So if this sounds like one that might be interesting to you, I'll link it below, check it out. If I missed anything, you have any other questions, drop them in the comment section. I will do my best to answer it. And I hope you found this helpful, informative, maybe at least entertaining. If you did, do me a favor and hit subscribe. Thanks to Fabulous for giving me a chance to ride and test this bike for a little bit. I think that's all for today, so thank you for watching.